Good day, I'm Samantha Allen and this is your Jis News for October 29. Cabinet met this morning to discuss the damage left by Hurricane Sandy and review the priority areas for recovery. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller had instructed the various state agencies to submit detailed reports to inform those discussions. Mrs. Simpson Miller said coming out of this cabinet meeting, government would have a clearer idea of how to cover the affected areas and prioritize and focus resources for the recovery process. Based on the latest information, the industry most seriously affected is agriculture, while education, health and public infrastructure facilities have also been damaged. Most schools across the island reopened their doors Monday morning after suspending services for much of last week due to the passage of Hurricane Sandy. At last count, 35 schools have been impacted by the hurricane, with those in Portland, St. Mary, St. Thomas, and Kingston and St. Andrew being the hardest hit. The ministry has confirmed that 7 schools in Portland and St. Mary were still closed Monday morning, while assessments continued in Kingston, and it was back to normal in all other parishes. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security is continuing its post-hurricane relief efforts, which started last Thursday. Permanent Secretary Alvin McIntosh says already some $8 million worth of supplies have been provided to the affected persons. The ministry is now in phase 2 of its recovery program, which includes the investigation of damaged houses, currently estimated at 4,000. Meanwhile, the Jamaica Red Cross will be providing income-generating grants to affected residents. For now, the NGO is assisting with restoration efforts by repairing roofs and distributing food, bedding, and other household material. The Agriculture and Fisheries Ministry is continuing field assessments this week in the parishes of Portland, St. Thomas, St. Anne and St. Elizabeth to get a complete picture of the damage caused by Sandy. The ministry says damage to the agriculture sector island-wide is expected to surpass $1 billion once all estimates are in. So far, over $750 million worth of damage has been confirmed, with St. Andrew, St. Mary and St. Catherine accounting for most of that amount. State Minister Ian Hales says it's also estimated that close to 11,000 farmers have been affected, while 1,500 hectares of farmlands have been destroyed.
We are committed to the over 200,000 farmers we have in the country, and we will continue to support them in whatever way, shape or form going forward.
Minister Hales says a comprehensive resuscitation plan will be worked out this week to include helping farmers access cheaper loans and managing the distribution of resources from the Catastrophe Fund. The Ministry of Health is reporting that by later this week, all but one of its hospitals will be back to normal operations. Director of Emergency, Disaster Management and Special Services, Dr. Marian Bullock-DeCass, says the Port Antonio Hospital, which is now offering outpatient and emergency services, should resume full operations this week. But she says it will be at least another 2 weeks before the Anota Bay Hospital will be in a position to resume full operations. The hospital lost a section of its roof during the storm and is only providing emergency services. In the meantime, Dr. Bullock-DeCass says the hurricane has created the potential for the dengue fever outbreak to worsen, and as a result, starting last weekend, health workers are carrying out round-the-clock spraying to destroy the mosquito population.
We're also having our teams out trying to help to destroy some of the breeding sites, and in the future we intend to be providing fogging schedules.
In other news, the National Security Ministry has added 53 vehicles to the fleet of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. They are the first of 135 vehicles being bought for the JCF, Jamaica Defense Force and Department of Correctional Services at a cost of $500 million this financial year. Funding is coming from the Ministries of Finance, Tourism and Science, Technology, Energy and Mining.
It is one of the finest demonstrations of joined-up government.
And finally, the city of Kingston celebrated its 140th anniversary on Sunday with a service of thanksgiving and rededication at the Kingston Parish Church. Various clergy, political and civic leaders joined in the service. In her welcome, Mayor of Kingston, Councillor Angela Brown-Burke, remarked that the city's leaders were grateful and humbled that Kingston was still standing after the passage of the hurricane, even as it mourned the loss of one of its citizens during the storm.
Some have lost houses, many have lost their roofs, some are still without water and electricity. But today, we give thanks because we know that the Lord, He is God. After the last few days, we know that we have much to be grateful for.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Samantha Allen. Thanks for watching.